Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And you guessed it, yet another amazing guest. How do we do it? Well, it's easy. You do it. You guys are fantastic, and we love talking to you. I love talking to you. The show is awesome. We're coming up on our 1,000th episode. Think about that for a second. 1,000 times. Nearly. Don't want to get ahead of myself. No fronts. Nearly 1,000 conversations, nearly 1,000 unscripted, sometimes unhinged, right? They can go off the rails, completely authentic, transparent conversations with our actual clients. Find me, if you would, another company, guru, CEO, anybody who's actually talking to their customers out on the internet, and show me ones who have done that 1,000 times, and I will send them a coffee, because I know how much work that takes, not only for me but also for our team, finding these guests within our community, and of course these guests who are not professional marketers, speakers, anything of that sort, who are brave enough to come on and speak about their experience and speak about their story and share their wins and also share their challenges. So with that being said, this morning we have a mom of 5 sharing her secrets to creating eye-catching Instagram reels, growing her business, learning, launching, leading, doing the damn thing. With that being said, Morgan, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dave. So glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's glad to have you. It's great to have you, and welcome yourself.
Thank you.
Where are you calling in from?
So we live in Utah. Good old American Fork, Utah. It's like as white bread as they get. But yeah, I'm originally from California. We moved here about 4 years ago. 2020. We lived in California, in Southern California, in Carlsbad, for about 8-9 years as a family, my husband and I. And we're both from California. I'm from Northern, and he's from Fresno as well, sort of Northern as well.
Okay.
But yeah, we decided to move here.
In the pandemic, essentially, or right at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
What motivated you? Bring us a little bit, fast forward to recently, and tell us. And feel free to jump around, and whatever your story is, what led you to want to start an online business?
Well, I think, so my husband's in the car business. He's actually he's a sales manager, and he's, that kind of ebbs and flows with the economy. And so in California too, I wasn't able to work. I'm actually a trained dietitian. Like, I went to school to be a dietitian. I did work as a dietitian for several years. Once I had my babies and things, I realized after 2, going back to work just like didn't even make sense. Like, I wasn't even going to make enough money to, cover the cost of childcare. And so I was just like, I'm smart. Like, I have a degree. I can do things, but, and I just felt bad. Like, my husband just like grinding all the time, so like, just, they work so much. Like, he'd be gone all the time, 60 hours, I just felt sad for him that he's missing out on all the kid stuff. Just like, it's hard, And so I was just like, I know I can do something. I tried a ton of different, like, I probably tried every MLM there was, and I never had success. And looking back on that, like, after finding Legendary and everything, I realized that my mindset and my limiting beliefs would just take me out of the game, like, immediately, almost. Like, it was just, like, I think I actually could probably be successful at some of them now if I didn't just second guess myself and then make an excuse about why I couldn't do it or it wasn't going to work. So basically, I did find like something about affiliate marketing, probably like, in like 2017, 2018. But the thing that I watched, it wasn't Legendary, it was something else. And they didn't really tell you anything. They didn't give you any good information, even in the free thing. They didn't really share anything worth of value. And so I was like, I think I could do that. Like, I could definitely do that. But how do I do it? Like, I have no idea how to do it. Like,
Mhm.
and they don't even share like which website you could do, use. Like, they don't even share, oh, use Aweber for this and nothing. And so I was feeling like, so I kind of forgot about it. I was like, I don't have money to pay for ads. Like, the whole thing was like, you pay for ads, right? And then you get. Yeah, and I was just like, well, I don't have any money like right now. Like, that's why I'm looking at this stuff. How can I do this with like a low startup cost, without having to shell out money and then wonder if it's going to work or not work or whatever. So then when I found you guys, I was like, this is amazing. Like, what? Like, I love social media. I can go on social media. I'm on there all the time anyway. I can totally do this. Like, and I loved when I first went through the first challenge.
Yeah.
I was so impressed by like the amount of information that was actually shared, like that was like good, valuable information for $7 or $5. It
Mm.
was like, I told that to my business owner. I was like, this is like, thank you for sharing more information about this than any other thing I've found
Mm.
for basically free. Thank you. Like, because I couldn't even, and as a mom, and I don't have a lot of time, like, you can't just research all over the internet, all this stuff, like, and you don't know if you're going to be successful. Like, I have a finite amount of hours in the day that with 5 kids that I can get things done. So I don't know if that answers the question.
Totally. And it's my experience too, and it would be anybody else's experience if they went out there and looked. The amount of of absolute garbage out there online,
Totally.
and empty promises. I mean, if anybody who actually goes through our training, right? There's we can tell when somebody's gone through our training or not, right?
Oh yeah.
Because they're excited and empowered, and they understand, if they have any sort of conscious or conscience or intelligence, that the amount of that what you're saying is true. The amount of value that we're delivering, our current challenge is $5. The amount of value in there for $5 is extraordinary, and there's enough in there for somebody to wrap their head around, creating running a digital marketing business, selling information using the core 4 business models that we teach, which are very simple to understand. They are selling information. That's what we teach, how to sell information. You can sell information through courses. You can sell information through coaching programs. You can sell information through live events, or you can do affiliate marketing selling somebody else's information. And we break all of that down inside of this 5-day challenge that people can go through. And what you're saying here is so honest, so vulnerable, so courageous. I want to just celebrate you because there's so much personal honesty and responsibility in what you're saying. I wish more people would listen and realize that the secret to their success is actually within them. Our mindset and our own limiting beliefs and our own excuses are what hold us back. It's not us. It's not legendary is not what's holding you back in your life, or
Mhm.
anything else that you're blaming. It's not your husband, it's not your kids, it's not your
Mhm.
friends, it's not the president. It's
Yeah.
not any of that. I can
Mm-mm.
show you some real life victims if
Oh
we want
yeah.
to like actually be serious about victims. I know
Oh
real
yeah.
victims. I mean, there's victims all over the world right now who are in war-torn
Oh,
countries. There's
exactly.
victims of domestic violence. There's victims of sexual rape and assault. I mean, we're talking about victims.
Oh
But
yeah.
in entrepreneurship, and when you log onto the computer and you're looking for ways to make money or start a business, and then you sign up for something, and then you don't go through it, and
Yeah.
then
Like,
don't get results,
yeah.
you're not a victim. You're not a
Mm-hmm.
victim. You're a volunteer. And I've also tried lots of MLMs. Most of us have. I've
Mm-hmm.
tried lots of things out there, and I still try things.
Yeah.
And
Same.
when I don't try and put forth the effort, I don't, I'm just like any other human being. I don't get results. And I just celebrate you for like that breakthrough. What were some of the limiting beliefs that you used to like
Well,
struggle with or tell yourself, and like how would you share some of those so we
yeah.
could kind of relate to those, and
Oh, for sure.
hopefully other people could have some breakthroughs instead of breakdowns, and relate
Yeah.
to your story.
Totally, for sure. Well, so when I mean, I have 5 kids, like you mentioned. So one of them was just like, well, I am a mom. Like, I don't have time for this, like I got a new, and at the time when I found that one, just random thing, I was like, well, I just had my fourth baby. So I was like, well, I don't have time to do this right now. Like I'm breastfeeding this kid around the clock. Like I don't have time. And I don't have the money. I just like, it was whatever excuse. And then same with any MLM. At one point, like I was doing one that was like makeup, and I was pregnant and my face started to kind of like break out, just from hormones, and I was like, well, this product is making my face break out. So I can't get behind a product that I like, I can't use. So it was like any excuse to be like, yeah, I can't do this. Or actually, one of the main ones that was really, really big is just caring about what my friend group thought. Like, oh, like here's Morgan doing another crazy thing on the internet, like like just thinking they were going to be talking about me behind my back, just like obsessed with like wanting to be one of the, even at a 35-year-old mom, wanting to be in the popular clique of moms, type thing. And those are the things that you like, if I could just say like what I've learned from and stopped those beliefs is, it's the same with weight loss. I have a weight loss account. I actually got into this because I was like, I need to figure out how to monetize my keto account. I had a keto account. I lost a lot of weight
Mm.
in 2020, or sorry, in like 2019, like 80 pounds. And I was like, I love motivating people. I am a dietitian by trade. Like I want to, but I can't figure out how to monetize it. I don't know what to do. Like I had a blog, like it was like, I just needed that extra information, that extra skills. And so that's why I started this. And I'm still trying to work on that as well. But it's the same with weight loss. Like you are your biggest person that's going to take you out. You don't even need to worry about what everyone else is doing or any competition,
Mm.
because your mind and the inside of your brain is what's going to take you out.
Mm.
Like, and I finally learned that with weight loss, and I had done the same thing before. Like, well, I just like food too much. I don't care. Like, I don't care how I look. It's fine. Until I got to a point where I was just like, I don't feel good. I'm tired. Like I can barely like get up the stairs, like I want to be here for my kids. And so you just get to a point where, and instead of being like, oh, I messed up, I better quit, you're like, okay, I messed up. Let's just move on. Next meal, I'll fix it. And then we'll keep going. If you can get that attitude, which I like to call just being breezy, like Monica on Friends, you're breezy. Like you don't look too hard into the terrible things. You don't look too hard into the great, like the great things, like the people telling you you're awesome or people telling you you're bad. You're just like, I'm breezy. Like if it happens at this time frame, that's fine. And I've done that with the marketing thing where I'm like, because obviously I don't have that much time like in the day. Like when I first started, I only had like an hour a day to do things. Like from the time when I bought the blueprints in August, I didn't actually start posting until like the end of November consistently, because it took me that much time just to get through, to set up my stuff, to like just, I only really had an hour a day between taking care of my babies and like all the things. So I was slow, and I was like, you know what? It's okay if I'm slow. It's okay. You just go at your own pace, because if you and then you just don't let yourself get to where you're thinking that you can't do it. Like if something happens, you pivot. Something like, okay, it's not going on the timeline you exactly thought. Who cares? if you quit, you're never going to get to that place. But if you keep going, you may get there just at a later time. So it's like, I'm just like, okay, we're breezy. We're doing this. It's fun. Like, I like doing it. Now what I'm doing, I love making people laugh. I love just commiserating with other moms and just how hard mom life can be, and just tired. Like, example, last night my baby had like the worst night ever. I was like, the one night I need to get some sleep, yeah, he wakes up like 7 times, like teething. I'm like, oh lovely, like this is just typical mom life. But you just roll with it, and you just like, okay, I was gonna curl my hair, I didn't, like it's just like, you just keep going. Like, and is it perfect always? No, you just throw it up there. You don't care what people think. I just had to stop caring what people think. Basically, I'm like, they're not paying my bills.
Yeah.
I don't care if they think I'm cheesy. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just on here. I pretend like too, and I actually have a lot of followers now. And it's almost like better, because I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't even know these people, like, it's like, I don't care what they think of me. If they want to unfollow, fine. I probably lose like 50 followers a day, 30, I think 30, but I gain 150. So it's like, I net like, so it's like, yeah, you want to drop off? Great. You don't like me? Great. You don't need to be here. Like, I
Yeah.
want people that want to be here, that want to learn, that want to do these things. So anyway, I know I talk a lot. You tell me something else you want me to say.
No, I'm loving it. I mean, that's the beauty of these lives, is that, we are completely unscripted. We're just, and I've never met you. Like, I've never talked to you before. Just for anybody who's just tuning in for the first time, like, I mean, every single guest, we're coming up on our 1,000th episode here. I've interviewed, so many people here from our community, and just every conversation's been exactly like this one, where, I just come on and I'm like, ready, and like, we just go live, and we just talk about what it's like to be an online entrepreneur. And, the value that's like in these nearly 1,000 episodes is just what most people charge for. There's more here than what most people charge for, but you got to listen. Like, you got to like listen and then apply. You can't just, that's the difference between also this and other things that you watch, is that you can't just passively, if you want to accomplish something, you can't just passively be here. It's not just like watching Oprah or the news or whatever, whatever don't watch the news. Oh God.
I don't watch the news.
Unless you want a twisted story, but, anyways, whatever you're passively watching, you have to be active. You have to be engaged here. Although this appears to be, just videos and interviews, I mean, there's so much applicable, action-oriented stuff we're talking about on a daily basis that we're talking about inside of our training. That's the whole point of this. So you have to get engaged. You have to, you can't just buy the course and then magically results are just gonna rain from the sky. You have to, and I've been talking about this for 1,000 episodes here publicly. I've talked about this for 13 years, my whole career. I mean, there's a quote $1 million mindset audio that comes with our blueprints package.
Right.
And the whole audio, it's 25 minutes of me just talking about working hard, hustling, not caring what people think, the getting over limiting beliefs, rewiring your brain for success, in identifying, where your patterns come from. And if you want to get new results, you need to do new things in your life. I mean, it's all timeless information, but it's like right there. It's hammered. It's what we talk about all the time. We've been talking about this for 7 years in this company. I've been talking about this for 13 years in this business, because I've had to realize that if I want to get results, it's not going to be, nobody's coming to do it for me. Even if I sign up for a coaching program, coach can't do nothing. Coach sits on the sidelines and trains you in practice. You still got to show up in the game and play the game and take the hits and try again and get back up and go out there and realize there's going to be people in the stands in the peanut gallery that are going to be yelling. I mean, think about professional athletes. I don't know if anybody's ever been to like a basketball game, but you got people who are surrounding the court. They are sitting on the court and they are yelling at the players. You suck, get them out of here. These refs suck, seriously,
No, they
yelling
do.
anything, cussing
So
at them,
rude.
telling them that they
Yeah.
suck, that they're worthless, they should, horrible things. And the players are the ones who are getting paid to play.
Oh yeah.
And so they have to focus and they have to play. And that's how entrepreneurship is as well. You can have people criticizing you. You can have people making fun of you. You can have people laughing at you. You can have people talking about you. And ultimately, you can also have your own self, which I love your point there about you are your own worst enemy. All this stuff is going to be happening both in your head and in the background. And it can either win or you can win. But the difference between employment and entrepreneurship, and I really want people to hear this, is that employment, you're entitled to, there's more room. Your boss is more responsible for telling you what to do and telling you when to show up. And right, there's more
exactly.
what to do, right? Come into the office, sit in this chair, sit here for 8 hours. You're going to enter these numbers into the spreadsheet, whatever it is, right? Not all employment is bad. I'm just giving the example. In entrepreneurship, it's just you.
Yeah,
Just you.
I mean, it is.
And you can either get, with entrepreneurship, you can either get results or you can have excuses, but you can't have both. So you have to pick. Do I want results or do I want to make excuses? And that's kind of like it is in everything in life that's worth having. You can either get results and go through the pain to get those results, or you can make excuses, but you can't have both.
Exactly. And it's hard either way. Like, if you don't lose weight, like, you're going to be suffering later, right? Like, so choose your heart and make it good for you. Like, make it something that does something for you, right? Like, it's like, I tell my kids that it's like, okay, like life is hard. Like, it's not, no one's going to do things for you. Yes, I clean your room still, like whatever, or I, clean the bathroom, but it's like, no one's going to do this for you. Like, you have to save yourself. And that's something I finally realized was like, if I want our lives to change, if I want to have, more abundance or whatever in our life, if I want my husband to eventually be home more or whatever it is, whatever your why is, you have to do the work. Like,
and nobody's asking you to do it. Like, we here at Legendary are not like, everybody should do this and anybody can do this. No, that's not our message. I mean, our message is that we've got some information. There's a lot of opportunity, and we could show you how to do it. It's going to be on you to do it.
Totally.
It's going to be on you to do it.
And it is. So, I mean, I think that's the hardest thing is just starting. And that's why, like, when I was first starting, I was just like, okay, I just have to get something up. Like, I have to just get it up. I'll fix it later, because I know for me, I'm like, if I take too long or like I get roadblocked and then I'm like, oh, well, it's been so long, but if you just like go, keep the momentum going, then you're going to have so much more success, like, quicker. And even if you have down days or like days that you don't feel great about what's happening, or maybe it's not working how you thought, it's like, okay, well, tomorrow I'll look at something else and I'll try something else. Like, it's a trial and testing, like just trial and error all the time, especially with my reels and things that I do. Like, if it's not performing, I never delete a reel. So unless it's just like, something that's I'm not aligning with anymore or whatever. But it's like, now on Instagram, it's like when I tell people, it's like, okay, you do a reel, maybe it doesn't perform how you want it to. Like, you're like, I thought this was so funny, or this was so valuable, this was so good. And then it kind of doesn't get as many views, okay, or whatever happens. that might not be on you. Like lately things are weird, like I don't know, but you can't like take outside things. You just got to keep the train moving. Okay? I'm going to post another and we'll see how that one does. Okay?
Mhm.
And then a lot of times what I've had happen is those reels 6 weeks down the road, they pick up.
Mm.
So it's like you just can't predict. And the same with any part of your business. Like you really can't predict like what is going to happen. So you just got to keep like the things you're doing today and you're like working hard at today are going to pay dividends later, but you might not see it right now. And that's the important
Mm.
thing is like you just have to keep doing it until you do see those results. And that's the hardest part is like, well, I'm doing all this stuff and nothing's working. And I feel like people quit way too soon
Mm.
because they're like, well, I did this and it didn't work. And that's what I was did with the MLMs. Like, well, it didn't work. Well,
Wow.
okay, maybe it was gonna work, but like you just didn't even give it a chance to work. Like
Mm.
you got to keep trucking along. And that's just been my thing is just like, okay, like even if it's not going how I want, like things have gone differently than I thought, like, but there's still good things. There's still silver linings you can find, like this is going great or this is going great. So maybe down the road, this can open up other opportunities for this section. Maybe it's not going exactly how you planned as far as your business, but it it might take, you have to be open. Like I said, you got to be breezy. You got to be open to the possibilities of where your journey is taking you. And
And you know what's interesting? We will go into a job like that. We will go into a job with the mindset that, yeah, I'm going to work my way up and it's going
yeah.
to take some time, right? It's going to take some
Hmm.
time. I mean, nobody goes into a job and expects a promotion the first week or the
Yeah.
first month or even the first year, right?
Yeah.
No, nobody goes in with those sort of expectations. But other things that we try, we do. And we have to adjust those expectations. It's like if you went into a job, which is the alternative, right? And that's fine.
Right.
I mean, we need people in jobs.
Oh,
Society
yeah.
needs that. So, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But none of us would go into a job and throw our hands up and say, I can't believe I haven't gotten a raise the first month.
Totally.
This
Yeah.
is crazy. I mean, I
It's
cannot
like,
believe this. I can't believe that I'm not employee of the month first month. I can't believe
yeah.
that people don't recognize me. I can't believe that people aren't support. We would never do that. We just
Yeah.
but we get in other things that are less traditional, and we want them to happen. We also have more realistic expectations about other things in life, relationships, etc. We just don't get into relationships and I'm like, I can't believe he hasn't proposed to me in the first month. It's like it's a
Yeah.
process. You got to invest your time, your energy, your money, your like
Right.
if you want something, it's reaping and sowing, reaping
Totally.
and sowing,
Well, you have to
reaping.
build like the trust too. Like it's like I think it's hard because you can go online and there's lots of people that are like, "This is my first month and I've made this much money," or like whatever, and you're like, "What?" And first of all, you don't even know if that's true. Number one. Number two, like everybody's journey is different, and I think like if you really just have to put the horse blinders on, like this is my
Yeah,
journey, this is how I'm
totally.
doing it, and it's okay if you're not at this point by this time. And just creating trust, like service, like anytime I've sold anything, it's been through talking to people at length in DMs
Mm.
or whatever, like, and having a real human conversation with someone, not gatekeeping information, just sharing, being of service, like, and just really genuinely caring about the person that I'm talking to on the other end. Like that's
Yeah.
the every time I've had success, it's been that. And so if you can genuinely just serve and care and like not just disappear on people too, because I feel like that can happen. And like you just need, I don't know, I actually love that part of it. I love just the relationship building aspect and just making friends, being supportive of other accounts. like other
Serving people,
people,
right?
yeah,
Like
serving people, like
helping.
giving free information, like
Totally.
all the time on reels, like free information. I mean, the way that I found to grow is through humor and kind of commiseration and relatable things.
Yeah.
But I also try and provide value in other ways, like tutorials and things like where I just share, this is how I do it. This is how I use CapCut. This is exactly what I do. You want to do it too? Here it is. Like, like it's like I don't just be like, oh, well, that's a secret. Like, or if someone asks me like, how do you make that real? I'm not like, I can't tell you. Sorry. Like it's like I was like, this is what I do. Because at the end of the day, they might not even do it. Like that's the thing. It is mindset. It's like you have to just keep doing these things. Half the people that they've gotten my like lead thing don't that's one have have not gone through anything, have not even
Right.
like probably opened my ebook, which actually has a fair amount of good information,
Total no,
so
I know. No, it's
it's
crazy.
like
It's and this is a great example of your type of content commiserating with other in a funny, humorous, like, playful
right,
way with other moms. It's great, and it's
yeah,
such a awesome way to connect with other moms and
right,
connect with other parents who get it. Like, I feel that as a dad, trust me.
dude, like it's
I
hard,
mean,
yeah, some
no,
nights are bad.
yeah, I mean, you got 5. I mean, I just really got
Yeah,
1 that wakes up, these days. He's 3.
yeah, it's
Um,
mostly just the one at this point, but yeah, no, it is.
but it's a lot, and it's just a way to connect with people. It's a way to feel a sense of community and feel a sense of camaraderie and make connections and build trust and be relatable and then share
Right,
what you're into or how you can serve people or what you're selling or whatever. And that's always I mean, this is such a huge platinum nugget for people who are wondering, like, how can I create more engaging content? It's like, well, make people laugh. Like, there's such a magic when you can make people laugh, and it's kind of one of the things that I have embraced more and more as I've gotten older and like more in my dad phase and just my
yeah.
40 life, and just it's like
Seriously.
I kind of like don't care anymore, and just
You
it's
seriously don't care when you're 40.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh
Like,
well.
and so it's like I wish I would have done that earlier. Just like been more relaxed, been more just kind of chill, less trying to impress people, less caring what people thought, just talking more about like that's what I think like content creators and a lot of people in our community have done like really well that I didn't even do at the beginning of my career 13 years ago was like really share the kind of the behind the scenes funny stuff and struggles of everyday life.
Totally.
Like, you don't have to share some big story. I think we take the storytelling and share your story thing like a little too serious. Like, you don't like just like there's so much power and relatability in sharing just normal daily like funny crap in
Totally.
like just stuff that happens in your life that people can relate to. And I think the mom and dad like toddler stuff or being a parent is incredible. I mean, there's both mom and dad pages.
Yeah.
Dads also have made
Oh,
pages that are
totally.
just kind of like life
Hilarious.
of being a dad. You like
Mm-hmm.
just like in kind of dad jokes, corny stuff, like
Yeah.
being tired, like, chasing our wives around or whatever, or just,
Yeah.
what it's like to just be a dad. Um, and there's also obviously one of the really cool and engaging and trust building types of content is just revealing and being honest in talking about the kind of ugly parts of entrepreneurship. It's
Yeah.
like it's not glamorous. It's like,
Mm-mm.
my desk right now is full of like old coffee cups. Like, thank God they're like they're not. I'm just gonna throw them away. I do it like every couple of days. and they're not quite growing mold in them. They've
So
not
they're
been
just
cleaned.
littered.
They're just like, yeah, kind of all over. And I've got like these bars like scattered everywhere in my car and on my desk. And like, I mean, I dropped my kids off at summer camp this morning, and I'm like running back to the house, like racing back to the house to go to the bathroom and do these things
Yeah.
before I get on the show, right? But then I look back, and somehow my son like dumped, like he ate some Chex Mix this morning on the way and just dumped it all over the car, and I'm like, oh my God, and it's like, but it's okay. I'm gonna vacuum it like here in a little bit because I can, like just with
Yeah.
my vacuum cleaner. It's not that big of a deal, but and then it's like, crap, got to get in here on the show. It's like, oh yeah, I left a shirt that I was wearing down in the office yesterday, on the floor. So I, come down here and get out of the tank top and just pick the shirt up off the floor, figure out, look for my hat that I threw somewhere yesterday at the end of the show yesterday.
Like,
go pick it up off
flustered.
the floor. Yeah, go pick it up off the floor. Then realize I left my laptop upstairs. Okay, shit, go grab the freaking laptop.
Totally.
And it's just like, okay, and then show up and just crush, like, and just that's one of my favorite points you made, is just like, go and fix it later.
Yeah, like just bring what you have. Like I had plans for this morning as well, and none of them happened because my baby was crazy last night and was still in my bed. Like in the morning, I thought I'd have time to do more things, and I didn't. And that's totally fine. Like you just have to come with what you have. And I think people appreciate that you're not perfect. Like the most views I get on Reels are ones where I literally have admitted some like terrible mom confession that's like, you shouldn't even think that thought. You know what I mean? And they're like, yes, I agree. Like it's like we all are just struggling, like sometimes want to strangle people. Like we're just like, what is going on?
No,
and
it's like
so
you got to remind yourself, my job is to keep this little human alive.
Yeah,
It's
alive and to be kind
alive,
if I can, like,
not
but
create more unneeded therapy for him when he's older than what life is already going to do. Ethel said, I love it. I barely fed my kids RX bars and Bolt House protein drinks for breakfast after they took turns waking up every hour throughout the night.
Gosh. Dude,
yeah,
I'm
no,
there with you,
that's
girlfriend.
that's my move lately with my kids. Is just like, okay, what are you having for breakfast this morning? In the car.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, and then you're probably like, as soon as you drop them off at camp, you're like, yes, like let's head to Starbucks. Let's there's no more joy than I feel when I drop my kids off at school and I'm like, all right, I'm free for like 6 hours, except for the baby. But
wow, right. I mean, and you got a baby, God bless you. I have give so much credit to like parents who are homeschooling and it's like, oh my God.
I would love to do that, but like I tried it with one of they don't learn well from me. Like I think I'm a decent teacher, but I'm not like patient enough. Like I'm like, why don't you understand this? Like it's so easy. Like it's like I can't. Yeah, it's not for me. They need someone else that's like not gonna probably belittle them because like I'm just like, oh, like I don't. It's so hard. I give credit to all. Seriously, if you are homeschooling, like good on you. Like you are a saint. Like if I don't have those time, I'm like an introvert. If I don't have that time alone, like without talking to people, I tell my kids too at like 8 p.m. I'm like, I'm a pumpkin. You need to get into bed. Like I turn into mean mommy at 8 p.m. Like I'm done talking to you. Like why are you not asleep yet? And I think I'm too honest sometimes with my kids, but we have a good relationship. We joke around. My older teenagers, like
that is funny though.
We are sarcastic.
No, I realize that too. Like this year, like in like T-ball, like my son. And my daughter goes to a dance studio. It's like, no, I can't teach you how to dance. Right. It's like, I mean, no way. But yeah, it's like, I took him out the first T-ball practice this was my thinking. He just turned 3 years old, and I'm like, let's get there an hour early and hit a whole bucket of balls
Oh my
before
gosh.
practice,
Oh
right?
man.
Right.
It's
So
always like
we
that. Is he your first? It's
no,
like
no, he's not.
oh,
He's
oh,
my third,
oh,
right?
okay,
But
okay. You
no,
have like
but
real high hopes for them when they're that little. You're like, you're gonna be pro. And then you get there and you're like, yeah, okay, maybe not. Let's just have fun.
the first practice, we hit a whole bucket of balls, and then he ran the bases 4 times all the way around. And by the
Yeah.
time practice started, he was like so tired. Is all he did throughout the entire practice was just sit in the dirt and play with dirt,
Oh
right?
man.
And I'm like,
Right.
get up.
Come on, what are you doing? We practiced this already. Like, it's
And
like
it's
you're
like, yeah,
embarrassing
you
me.
you need coach, come on, can you come over here and talk to my son respectfully, because I can't right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. I told my sister calls it like I bring out the like angry kind of like trashy mom voice where I'm like, get over here right now. Like you're like like you don't want anyone to hear, or you're like just shooting daggers with your eyes. Like,
Right,
what are you
right.
doing?
You're
Like you're gonna
talking,
get it later.
your mouth isn't moving. Get
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah,
Get
yeah, like, hey, yeah, like it's like real deep and like crazy. Like it's
yeah,
just like you're going to the bad place. Like,
yeah.
ugh.
You're seeing
It's
red.
like that's what
No,
happens
I've
when I
got
don't get enough sleep too. Like if anyone wakes me up in the middle of the night, I'm not nice at all. I'm like, why aren't you asleep? Like I shouldn't be awake. I need a full 7 hours. Like
Oh God. And then you combine that with entrepreneurship. It's like you have to laugh so you don't cry, right?
oh,
I mean,
100%.
you
Oh,
do.
that is
And
my motto, 100%. It's like I would rather laugh any day than
yeah.
cry. Crying makes your face look bad. It gives you a headache. It's
Oh,
terrible. Just
totally.
let's laugh through these hard things. Like,
Yeah, and you can do hard things and you can find humor through them. Like that's
yeah.
one thing that's so important to know and remember. I bought a sign in a Goodwill many years ago that said, "Don't
Hmm.
take yourself too seriously, or else nobody else will." And like
Yeah.
that's always stuck with me. Like
That's
it's
so
like,
true.
yeah, you if you take yourself seriously, you're the only one who's going to be taking yourself seriously. Whereas if you don't, it's ironic. It's a kind of is it that an oxymoron? I don't know. I'm a ninth grade dropout, so sometimes I don't know what words mean. But
You're
like,
good.
the irony is that the not the irony, but just the irony is that if you don't take yourself seriously and you're like lighthearted and just go with the flow, like other people actually do take you seriously because you're
Totally.
not
Oh, it's
taking yourself
true.
so seriously, right?
If you're humble and like, oh, like, well, I feel like I'm always like that. Like, even to a point where I'm like, I know I'm awesome. Sometimes, like, I have confidence, but then I'll just be like, oh, yeah, I don't know. Like, or in the same with my kids, like, and people are like, oh, well, like, it just as a joke, like, it makes it more lighthearted.
Yeah.
Like expectations are lower, and then you can overperform on the expectations.
Yeah, totally. And it's like that's the other thing that I try to remind people as they're going through our education and learning and then launching is that you know a lot more in whatever your chosen niche is than you're giving yourself credit for. So stop being so scared
Right.
that you don't know anything. Number two is that you know just start delivering value in talking in teaching in serving in trying to share things that will help people and show them that you can help them by actually trying to help them and helping them, and then they will start to tell you how helpful you are, right? And
Right.
then you'll start to believe it, right? But you have to just get over that, like, I don't know anything, or I'm not ready to start, or I don't know enough
Totally.
yet,
Just start. You
just
probably know
start.
more than like half the people out there. Like when I
Or
talk to
90 or
anyone,
90
yeah,
plus percent, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
like they don't even know, they don't even heard of it. Like
Yeah,
so
and
you
whatever niche
share,
it is,
yeah,
it
whatever niche, 100%. And that's what I try and tell people. I'm like, whatever your passion is, whatever thing you love to do, like it can be, I don't know, like fly fishing. It doesn't matter. Like you can probably monetize it if you try. Like just you have to do some work and you have to want to do that. But like you don't have to be just like, I love telling people about Legendary because I feel like it totally changed my life. But you don't have to do that. You can tell people about fly fishing. You can tell people about whatever thing but you probably know a lot. Like,
Yep.
and package it in a way that is helpful, and people will pay for that knowledge. Like, if you just have a little bit more knowledge than someone, like, I pay for things all the time. That's why I try to think about myself. Like, I'm like, well, I'll pay like $25 just to like have the shortcut of like knowing how to do this thing. 100%. Like,
Yeah. And
how I teach
people
my
are
kid how to sleep at night, whatever it is,
right.
I will buy that. Like,
Yeah.
you just got to find the thing that people need and want. Do research on it. Figure out what they are hurting for and want to learn.
Yeah. And how do I do that? Well, I mean, we teach it. We teach
It's
it in
Google
in
also.
two. Also, you Google, sure. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, no, yeah,
Google is
you guys
your.
teach it. I just mean, like, yeah, do research yourself, like,
Yeah,
too.
right.
Like,
Well, you're gonna have to do research and learn no matter what, right? So
yeah,
it's like, yeah, go to Google. I've always said you should learn these skills whether you learn them here or not. Like, I don't care. Like, there's 8 billion people on this world. Like, if you are like, I just want to go to Google and I don't want to, thanks for the like getting me started, but I want to go learn somewhere else. Fine, go to college if you. I don't know that they teach it in college. We've had a lot of people who have said I've learned more here in your intro courses than in my 4-year college degrees. But
100%. I think so.
that's just it. And we've got those. You can go through a lot of our comments, and you can go through comments on our Wake Up Legendary show, and you can read those comments for yourself. That's not just me parroting that. But yeah, I mean, like, if you're sitting here wondering, like, how do I do that? Like, how do I package my information? How do I get started? Like, it's exactly what we teach here inside of our curriculum. And you can get started for $5 to take our 5-day challenge. Learn, launch, lead challenge. You're going to learn, you're going to launch, you're going to become a leader in your business, whether you like it or not, if you keep working and learning and leading. And if you want additional training, you can enroll in our blueprints, which are a comprehensive
So awesome.
program that teaches you these core 4 business models, and they're all sold individually, or as you're going through our challenge, we give you a one-time opportunity to get them all for the price of one. And there's coaching that comes with it, and workshops that come with it, and all kinds of stuff. And so it's here. You have to do the learning, you have to then do the launching, and then you have to learn to become the leader in your business, because you're going to be the CEO of your business, so you'll have to become the leader. And
Right.
if that's a problem for you, then don't start, because you'll just complain and be a victim and say, why didn't this work for me? If you don't want to become the leader, if you don't want to become the person, like, what we have to understand is, with freedom comes responsibility. Like, you can't just get all this freedom of being the boss, the CEO, the business owner. I want all that, but I don't want any of the responsibility. No, that those come hand in hand. So if you want to have all the freedom, you got to also become a leader. And a leader is the person who takes responsibility. A leader is the
Oh, yeah.
person who is self-honest with themselves, just like you were throughout this entire show. Like, hey, I've tried all this stuff in the past, and then I went through your education here at Legendary, learned a lot of stuff, but mostly realized my mindset's been screwed. And I
Yeah.
probably could have succeeded with a lot of these things previous if my mindset would have been stronger. And so I'm developing that while learning new marketing skills. And go figure, I'm having some success, and I'm having fun. And
Yeah.
like, I'm now excited about entrepreneurship. Like, that's what I've heard from you today.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool story. What's one other thing that you've learned about yourself throughout this process, going through our curriculum, learning and launching and becoming the leader in your business?
I think just that I can do anything if I put my mind to it. It's just, before I did not believe, okay, like, I did not believe in manifesting or anything like that. I am a religious person, so I just thought, okay, like, I pray sometimes, but I think sometimes praying almost can come like from a victim perspective. Like,
Mm,
please help me, like, help me to have success, like, help me. And I think with this, and what it's shown me the most, is that you have to step into who you want to be,
mm,
and then act like you are that person before you really are. And
mm,
you have to just tell yourself, like, this is what's going to happen. and have the confidence in yourself to believe it, and then do it, and then keep doing it. Because it's like, if you, there's going to be times you're going to be down and think, and there's been times when I'm like, I don't know if it's going the way I wanted it to go. Like, I wish I was further, or I wish I had X amount of things or whatever, but followers or whatever things. But that doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. It just means, okay, you hit a bump in the road, but nothing worth doing is ever going to be easy. It's simple for sure. Learning these things are super, super simple. I think anyone with like a fourth grade reading level can understand what you guys do, what we learn here at Legendary. But you have, the hard part is just doing it and getting yourself to do it. And I see that all the time when sometimes I'll comment on different, groups and things, and it's like, you guys just get out there and do it. Just do it. Like, you will learn so much by just failing, and then, okay, that didn't work, so I'm going to try this now. Totally. And so I think for me, what I've learned is just that, through you guys too, is just mindset, and like just believing in yourself that if you really want it, you can get it. You just have to go out there and get it. And if it's not working the way you thought, then you pivot and you try something else. You go back to the blueprints. I've gone back so many times, and okay, like, let's find a different way. Let me post on Pinterest now. Like, let me see if that helps. Like, let me learn that. Let me learn TikTok. And I have a TikTok, I think, but it's like not as big as my other stuff. I think people understand me more on Instagram, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to explore other things, because everything's changing all the time. Maybe the algorithm's changing. Maybe your client, your followers, their preferences are changing. So you kind of have to just roll with the punches all the time, and it might not always be you. You just have to have the confidence to know, which is what I've found, is that I can do this as long as I find a place that I can go back and learn, and which is Legendary. I feel like I like the blueprints. I just go back and I'm like, okay, maybe I didn't understand this one part that well. Let me go back and like go through it. And a lot of times when I've done that, I've been like, oh, okay, this is, I need to fix this. Like, this is why. And same with like the lead magnet lab. Like, I'm doing that because I want to, like, anything I can learn more, I do. Because, and I think with this business and with anything, you're thinking about it all the time. It's not easy. You're thinking, if you're not doing, you're thinking about it. I'm thinking about it when I'm vacuuming. I'm thinking about what content can I do now? What other thing how can I help people understand like how wonderful this, whatever it is, I'm thinking about it. So you have to just be a constant learner, a lifelong learner, and pivot and change. And because everything's changing all the time in this world, but you can change with it. And you can, even at 40, you can learn new things. You can do, I'm not super techie, but like, I learn new things. Like, I learned I painstakingly went through creating the funnel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just stop the video, stop the video. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you just take your time and just do it. You will be so happy you did, because the time's going to pass anyway. And so just,
use it wisely, right?
Yeah.
Man, such a powerful testimony, and like, you're a just great example of what happens when just people just, I hate to say this, but it's like kind of rare that people, so many human beings just buy stuff and never use it.
Totally.
And then are like, well, that was a waste of money. Well, it's like, but you bought it. Like, you were the one who bought it. So it's not that the thing was a waste of money. It was that you bought it and didn't use it. And like you're talking about, just how you would be successful in anything. If you went to college, my buddy's right now going to upgrade his contractor license so he can build past 3 stories. He's having to go back to this contractor school and like sit there and go back through the books and go so he can pass the test, and also make sure that he's knowledgeable when he goes on these job sites that are building higher than 3 stories. It's like, and this guy's, his motto, He's from New York. I love him. I love his mind, his brain too. Nobody cares. Work harder. That's his, like, he
Yeah,
says it all the
totally.
time. Like,
They're so
nobody cares.
honest.
Work harder. Yeah. No, nobody
Yeah.
cares. Work harder. Right. It's
Yeah.
like, and what he's talking about is himself. Like, he's
Yeah.
not talking to you. That's a motto that he lives
Yeah.
by. Like, nobody cares about that I had a bad day. Nobody cares that I was frustrated in traffic. Nobody cares that my kids didn't sleep through the night. Nobody cares that, like, on a serious note, like, there's people who are getting bombed right now in this world. Like, nobody cares that, that my kid dumped his Chex Mix in his car seat this morning. Nobody cares that I didn't make as much money yesterday as I wanted to. Work harder, right? Nobody cares.
Like,
work harder.
Change it up then. Yeah, like
nobody cares. Just work harder. Just the solution to everything in my life, if I want more results, is work harder. Just work harder. It's not hard. It's not hard to understand. It's hard to do. And it's hard to comprehend oftentimes something that's that simple. But nobody cares because they have their own problems. Now, if we are both having the same problem and we're sharing those to feel support and laugh and identify, like there's care there.
There's
there,
some
right?
complaining that's funny. It's
fun,
but
in the grand scheme of things,
just
like for like, go complain to somebody and see how long they stand there and listen to you. Most people are going to politely begin to remove themselves. Well, hey, it was great to see you.
Totally, like,
right? Like, most people are not going to say, nobody cares, work harder, right? But they're going to say, God, it was nice to see you. You take care of yourself. I'm so sorry that's happened or whatever. But they're not going to be like, wow, let me fix that for you, or let me, like, wow, you're the only person who's having a bad day. Like, it's like,
we all have those. Just stop making excuses.
The answer, right? The answer,
like I tell my kids,
especially in your business, work harder, work harder, work harder, right? Like, work harder to get more results. Work harder. Like, if you want to, like, climb the ladder, the corporate ladder, work harder. Totally. Right? Like, go to trainings outside of your job. Don't just rely on them to help you to be better. Go to trainings, invest in yourself. Like, show up early, stay late, like, ask how you can help, like, work hard. That's all under the umbrella of working harder. And that's, you very much remind me of that mindset, with just a beautiful sense of humor and just a powerful, you got great energy, and I love your self-honesty, and it's been just a pleasure. Thanks for coming on this morning.
Hey, thanks for having me. It was so fun.
Dude, totally looking forward to having you back, continuing the conversation. Stay legendary, my friend.
You too.
And, good luck with all the kiddos.
Thank you. I need it.
All right. Talk to you later, Morgan.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye. All right, my friends, you can find, follow, learn from, continue to be inspired by, and entertained by, and educated by Morgan at Funny Marketing Mom over on Instagram. She's also got her keto page at Basic Keto Beach. Basic Keto Beach. Okay. That's also on Instagram. All right, my friends, man, what a super just incredible interview this morning. Worth a re-listen. So much incredible mindset, so much self-honesty, personal responsibility. Just that interview, that show, Morgan's mindset is like, if I could just scoop it and give it to all the brains in our community, like, that would be so empowering for everybody, for me too. Just, that's why I love doing the show. Just really benefiting myself, learning, listening to, like, how people are dealing with the challenges of learning, launching, and becoming a leader in their business at whatever place they are. She's maybe in week 13 or month 13. I'm in year 13, but a lot of the same stuff is still applying, right? It's not, you don't get to a certain level and then you stop having to work hard. You stop having to take personal responsibility. You stop having to, find humor in the day so you don't cry. Like, it all still applies. We're humans. We're having a human experience. And again, that's why I love doing the show. And thank you for tuning in. You guys make this amazing to actually do. All your comments. Thank you for the wonderful support from Argan this morning. All your amazing comments. Thank you all. Good to see you all. As always, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. If you want to get a little text message reminder, I'm gonna post this little link right here inside of our comments, and you can, or excuse me, not a text message, but like a messenger notification on Facebook. So I'll post this in the comments, and you can click it and join our little messenger notification list. I just put that in the comments. And we'll send you a little message with the link to click over to the show at 10 a.m. Eastern time every Monday through Friday when we go live. For those of you coming to New Orleans to meet us this week, my friends, I'm so excited to see you, to meet you. We're going to be streaming live from New Orleans at least on Friday. So get ready for that. It's going to be a blast. Masterminds always are. And we're getting, going to a new city. We're going to be staying right on Bourbon Street. There's going to be a parade. We're going to be in a parade. It's kind of going to be a lot of fun. Some, party, just the whole 9 yards. It's a whole experience when we put on an event. And I just look forward to being with you, hanging, serving, teaching, answering questions, all of the things. With that being said, my friends, we'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. Thanks again, Margaret. Great show. Get out of here, everybody.